You know what nobody told me when I got my first real paycheck? It's not how much you make that determines if you'll ever be wealthy. It's the order you do things with your money. I used to get paid and just wing it. Pay some bills, buy some stuff, maybe save whatever was left, which spoiler was usually nothing. Then I discovered there is an actual sequence, a flow, and once I followed it, even on an average income, everything changed. Today I'm walking you through the exact 7 step money flow I use every single payday. Step by step, no fluff. And I'll warn you, step 4 has a trap inside it that most people walk straight into without realizing it's costing them thousands. Stay with me. Before anything else, before investing, before saving, before treating yourself, your debt gets paid. Not because it feels good, it doesn't, but because missing even one payment quietly starts burning your financial future in the background. Here is something most people don't realize. Your credit score in the US is brutally sensitive. On time payments, miss just one out of every 20 payments and you're already considered poor on that metric. Not average, poor. And why does that matter? Because a bad credit score means higher interest rates on your mortgage, your car, your loans. You end up paying more money for the same things just because you slipped up earlier. So, step 1 is simple. Make your minimum payments every single time, without exception. Think of it as protecting your future self from paying a tax she didn't have to. But here's the thing, paying your debt alone isn't enough. There is something underneath all of this that most people skip completely, and it's quietly keeping them broke. I call this your financial floor, the bare minimum your life actually costs: rent, food, transport, utilities, healthcare, the non negotiables. And I want to be honest with you here. This step isn't wow. It's not about cutting every coffee or living like a monk. It's just about knowing your number, the real number. Because here's what happens when you don't. You think you have more breathing room than you do. You overspend in the middle of the month, and by payday, you are starting from zero again. Ideally, your necessities should sit below 50% of your monthly take home. If they are above, that's important information. It means the other steps are going to be harder, and you might need to look at either cutting costs or increasing income. Well, come back to that. But once you know your floor, something actually opens up, because now you can see what's left. And what do you do with that is where it gets interesting. The emergency fund. I know, you've heard of it before, but let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a friend of mine had just started investing. She was proud of it, she was like consistent, then her car broke down. $1,400 repair bill out of nowhere. She had no emergency fund, so she pulled the money from her investments, took a hit on timing, and basically wiped out months of progress in a single afternoon. 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, liquid, sitting in a high yield saving account, earning your interest while it waits. That's the target. If your monthly expenses are around 2,000, you're aiming for 6,000 to 12,000 sitting untouched. It's not exciting money, it's protected money, and the day you need it, it feels like the best decision you ever made. Now, most people build this and stop. They feel safe, they feel settled, and they coast. But the people who actually build real wealth, they do something very specific next, and it involves a trap you need to know about before you walk into it. Retirement savings. I know. Stay with me. If you're in the US, this is your 401k. Every country has a version of this, and the idea is the same. A percentage of every paycheck goes into your future before you ever touch it. The general target is somewhere between 6 and 12% of your income, and the magic of it is that it comes out before you see it, which means you never miss it. Never spend it, never convince yourself you'll invest it next month. Here is the math that always gets me. If you earn $55,000 a year and put away like 10% consistently for 35 years at average 8% return, you cross $1 million. on a middle income just from being consistent. Now, here is the trap I promised you. A lot of people treat the 401k as a only move. Their coworker tells them to max it out, so they do, and they never question it. But the 401k locks your money up. Withdraw early and you are hit with penalties. For some people, especially younger ones who might need capital to build something, that lack of flexibility is real cost. My honest take, for most people, the forced saving structure of a 401k is generally the best option because most people, left to their own devices, won't save consistently. The data backs that up. But don't just follow the crowd blindly. Ask yourself, can you realistically generate better returns with that money on your own? If the answer isn't a confident yes, and for most of us isn't, the 401k wins. Which brings me to something that will absolutely wreck your progress if you ignore it. High interest debt. If you have any debt sitting above 15% interest, credit cards especially, it is quietly eating your wealth faster than almost any investments can grow it. Think about it this way. If your credit card charges you 20% interest and the stock market historically returns around 8%, you are mathematically losing around every single day you don't pay that off. So before you invest more aggressively, you kill this first. Two ways to do it. The avalanche method, you attack the highest interest rate debt first, then work down, is the most financially efficient path. Or the snowball method, you pay off the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate. Less optimal on paper, but research from Kellogg Business School actually shows that the psychological momentum of eliminating individual debts can make people more successful at paying off everything overall. Pick the one that fits how your brain works, both beat doing nothing by a mile. Once that high interest debt is gone, suddenly you have a real money to work with. And the next step is what I call the quiet cheat code. The Roth IRA. If you're not familiar, here's why it's special. The money you put in has already been taxed. So when it grows and when you eventually withdraw it in retirement, you pay zero taxes on the gains. Zero. On decades of compounded growth. That's the deal. You can also pull out your original contributions, not the gains, just what you put in, at any time without penalty, so it's more flexible than a 401k. The annual limit if you are under 50 is 6,500. It's not huge, but filled consistently year after year, it becomes one of the most powerful wealth building tools available to regular people. Set it up, fund it, and then let it sit and grow while you move to the final step, which is honestly where the most exciting part of whole this journey begins. Everything up to this point has been defensive. Protecting yourself, building foundations, eliminating threats. This step is offensive. Taxable investing, stocks, real estate, index funds, bonds, whatever you actually understand and believe in. The key word there is understand. Don't invest in something because a friend is excited about it or because it's trending. Invest in what you can generally explain and evaluate. Personally, I found the most success with companies and markets I actually understand. Others, I know, have built real wealth through local real estate. The vehicle matters less than the discipline and the knowledge behind it. Track your returns, learn from what doesn't work, build a feedback loop, and here is the honest truth. Most people never get to step 7, not because they can't, but because they got stuck somewhere in the earlier steps without realizing it. Poor foundations, ignored debts, no emergency fund, it all compounds in the wrong direction. But if you followed this flow, you're already ahead of the majority of people who get paid, spend, and wonder where it all went. This is not complicated, but is sequential. The order matters more than the amounts, especially at the start. Build the foundation first, protect yourself, eliminate what's costing you. Then, and only then, go on offense. If you are still working on the earlier steps, that's completely fine. The fact that you know the full map now means you're already playing different game than most people around you. Thank you for watching.